The physical environment is critical to contributing to each child's well-being and creativity and developing independence, and providing that diverse range of indoor and outdoor experiences that can promote each child's learning and development is really important. It's about keeping children safe, but also giving them opportunities to test and extend their skills and build resilience.
One of the main things we have in our foyer is our philosophy that really demonstrates to families and the community what we're all about. And one of our big things, just like BU, is about wellbeing. So it's the wellbeing of the children, the families and the staff. So right from the get-go, when you walk in, you see the BU sticker as well as our philosophy that really highlights that the wellbeing of all is something that we really focus on strongly in the centre.
So children might need time to take a pause during their play, and that could be because they're overwhelmed by the noise, by the actual environment with the amount of children. So environments are made smaller and are more private to ensure that children can engage in play in those quiet spaces.
The physical environment is really important to mental health. Having spaces where children can engage with nature, having spaces where they can be quiet or whether they can mix with large groups. And it's really important to be very mindful of those opportunities to give to children that does support their mental health and wellbeing. I particularly think about outside school hours care and schools where the spaces are shared, and how important it is for the educators working in those spaces to collaborate together to create a physical environment that's actually going to be suitable for both the outside school hours care program and for the school program, but more importantly for children's mental health and wellbeing across their day. The sensory development of children is really attuned to the natural environment. There's lots of things to smell, lots of things to see, lots of things to touch, and that sensory integration is really important to developing the brain cells, the development of the neural pathways, and to that mental health and wellbeing core of our being.
The design of our environment supports children's social and emotional well-being as we provide smaller spaces for the children to play and learn in. We also provide spaces within each room for children to practice their mindfulness. These may be smaller spaces with cushions and blankets or books, places where they can go to have a few minutes themselves or with their friends if they are feeling a little bit overwhelmed in a situation. We encourage a lot of risky play at our service, which helps children build on their confidence as they play.
So in relation to physical environment, with an understanding of mental health and wellbeing, when designing an environment, you will be looking at opportunities for children to both engage in large group experiences, small group experiences, but also opportunities to be on their own if they wish to do so. Also, you'll be looking at creating areas in the learning environment where children know that they can access an educator. Like if they do need help or need some support or perhaps aren't feeling so okay, that there's a predictable space in that service where they can access an educator. For example, that may very well be something that operates during arrival and departure times. So for children that may be experiencing some anxiety in separating from family members, both the family and the child know where to go to find an educator who can assist that transition.
When you're talking about spaces for creating well-being, or that nurture well-being, you're talking about spaces where, for starters, children can relax. Okay? We're talking about a balance, having spaces that balance active play, active engagement to quiet engagement, because all children are different, you know. When you're talking about spaces that provide opportunities for children to engage in physical play, because actually physical play is a good way for them to channel their energy, make friends, interact, connect, problem solve, you know, learn how to deal with failures and that sort of thing.
So when you think about Bronfenbrenner's socio-ecological model, it supports the understanding and in terms of the interactions of environments on child outcomes and the important role of educational settings and educators. And of course, educators are key professionals in fostering children's learning and development and well-being. And the way in which the service environment is designed and equipped and arranged determines how children will use the space and the resources.